Hello and welcome back to Factorio. We're picking up right where we left off. I'm wandering around this starter base that I managed to get together. Really not a starter base, it's really just mines and some smelting. I'm not really pre-planning much because I am, as mentioned, assuming that a lot of things have changed. Here's my nice little yellow belts into smelters. I've got some copper and I've got some iron. And our next research, we need to get things going to research things that require both red and green. And then when I make some steel, that'll open up steel axe. I am thinking that I probably want to have a belt of steel pretty soon. No, I won't design it now. I will design it when I need it. Out here to the right. I am going to think about what direction I want my belt. I think out here I'm going to head my main bus. I think I'm going to head it north. I don't really remember what was on the map. I do remember there are basically forests all over the place. I could head south. Let's take a look at south. If I can delay having to clear forests, that will make me happy. Doo-doo. Yeah, I think I'm going to make the belt go south. Let's see. I remember that there was a way to get a grid to come up in the pause menu. F5 does it. So F5 is the first level of debugging, and it's all stuff that's not game breaking or anything, but in this case, it looks like it's just getting me my grid. And I'm mainly doing this because our rails are going to be aligned on, I've forgotten whether they're centered or just inside. Oh, well, given that I've forgotten, we can't make them yet. It actually doesn't matter. So I think the only thing is that I want to give some space, some breathing room to my smelters. So I'll let the smelters grow north, and if they have to grow to the right, I will just bring the belts back around. So my main best will start down here somewhere. So what I want it to look like. I am thinking take 4 lines of copper and then skip some. 4 lines where we'll have, well, stone and brick and maybe other stuff. Oh, I need to skip more than that, don't I? Like that. And then we'll put our iron there. So the reason why I do this is so when I bring iron, well, if I bring copper off from the left, I can bring it out with a underground like that. Now I am not going to populate the whole thing. So my idea is that I will start the belt off really simple, and then we will grow it to the right as we add more things from the right. We're going to need steel on this. Okay, so we'll put stone and brick and steel in here somewhere. left-hand side will be copper, nominally balanced, but we'll just start off with it where it is. Now, if I continue this pattern, we end up looking like that. I keep hitting escape instead of Q. I may need to mess with the keyboard bindings. I'm getting too used to escape canceling out of whatever I'm doing, and in Factorio it does bring up a pause menu. So, if I want to center this inside this cell, I would have to do something like something around here. So let's just start it here. Q. I will leave that ghosted so I'm not using up resources. I did that. Oh, I guess if I was out of range, it couldn't actually do it. Okay. So there's that. Let's bring this up. Be either stone or brick. Whichever one's convenient. Q. Now if I pet, again, Q drops what's on your cursor, but if you're over something, it picks it up. So we'll bring the brick and the stone. That. When I bring the steel in, it's going to have to cross over my iron lanes. That's not a problem. We are old hands at making things cross over, aren't we? And I keep using middle mouse button for the picker. Let's actually fix that. Controls. My pet tool is going to be middle click. Hey! And can I use escape for clear cursor? And I betcha. Okay, so now if I have something on my cursor, escape will clear the cursor. And if I don't, okay, there's that. So pipette tool is middle mouse click. And it's a pipette whether it's got something on the cursor or not. And iron is going to come in here. Shift ghosts it rather than putting it down. That's much more convenient. So if you try to go under something, it will by default put an underground in for you. If that's not what you want, it's up to you to fix it up. Now there is a discipline for starting bases where you can start out with. I ought to go full on bus to begin with. I wouldn't if I was doing a speed run. For me, speed runs aren't sprints; they're jogs. For me, a speed run is under 20 hours. But if I were trying to pop a decent base out, I wouldn't go with main bus. I would start off with just a copper line and an iron line, and we'd put a whole bunch of smelters and such on them. We'd start off with that from the mines. Now I don't actually need this anymore. What I want to do is think about putting my stuff out here to the right. What's the first thing I want to build? I would like to get some belts and some inserters being automated. So belts are easy. This does require electronic circuits. So I'm thinking that before we put the array in for building the belts and inserters, we put an array in for electronic circuits. Electronic circuits are made, let's see, in a half a second. We pick up 1 iron plate and 3 copper cable. Ooh, I think that's new. No, it isn't. Nope, because there we go. So, copper cable machines take in 1 plate, and every half second they turn out 2 copper cable. And electronic circuits take in 3 copper cable every half second. So we need 3 of those to 2 of those. So that is the same ratio it has always been. I like to give myself a little bit of room here. What I'm going to do is put in 3 machines for copper plate. Like that. And really, I do need 2 inserters. These guys are fairly slow, so it's going to take 2 inserters to get the copper cable out of him fast enough. And that'll get the 3 copper cable in here. Okay. These guys need to have copper plate. See, over on the right, it's saying every half second, 1 plate becomes 2 those. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to overkill this a little bit. Notice we're already down to 539 belts. Yeah. Now, why did this not work? It didn't work because I started out in the wrong place. I don't worry about damage to my blueprints, by the way. So in Factorio, if a belt or an underground is going the wrong direction, you can mouse over it and hit R. There we go. Now, once we get this belt going, I will have a standard way of saying, we have 4 thingies here. I am going to take 1 off of this, and we'll prioritize it. But for now, at this level of technology, we just do that. Now over here, these guys need power. Okay. And I need to have a standard for where my power is. What? I'm going to move this so that this power line is right there. So moving the whole thing over by 2. See, I should have blueprinted this to begin with. Foolish me. Need to remember to do that in the future. Start by blueprinting and then laying down the blueprint. We want the power to be right next to him, because this is not really going to be belts yet. They will be belts eventually. But for right now, this is walking area. So we'll be using bricks in here. Speaking of which, let's put some bricks in. There are people out there who believe the first thing you do is you establish your pathways and you never let anything go over the pathways, and the pathways are somehow important and holy. I like pathways, but I'm not that much of a fanatic. I do, however, think that if you're going to do a main bus, you do need to establish a place to go alongside it and not just to walk. Make that bigger. Numpad plus and minus. There we go. So this is not just a walking path. Eventually, when we have a car, we'll be driving the car up and down here. I need to get power. So I am going to go off to the left. And we're going to put a pathway and power in. And I am seeing that we also need to automate the electric poles. So I could count on my power running along my smelters for power. I don't like doing that, though. What we're going to do instead is I'm going to start with this. I'm going to say this is my pathway, and let's blueprint it out first. This is my pathway heading out toward the bus. We go by the south edge of the smelter. I just come right across here. That. And this is a pathway, so oh, you don't need to erase that stuff. That was just me being silly. I'm going to put power right on the bottom edge of this. So it's going to be here and close enough. Let me just start here and I run west, dragging the power line with me. That hooks it back up. Now it did automatically hook the power up to the smelter where it was actually available. Don't like it. Not much I can do about it. For those of you that have played Factorio a lot, you're going to be looking at this saying, my, what a slow start. He is taking his time. And my answer to that is, why, yes. Yes, I am. Because I have spent the last year playing Satisfactory and Tectonica and other games. And I want to enjoy my return to Factorio. This is all powered. I believe these are correct now, so we can these guys in. Whoops. Oh, and Alt, turn on the show me the stuff. Now, if you've got blueprints of these guys, when you drag across them, it will put them in the correct places. Now, eventually we will have lanes on our main bus that will be carrying fluid. We'll find out about that later, and no doubt things will have changed, and that's okay. So we got everything we need here except the iron and the output. So I'm going to do a little trick. I'm going to take the iron in like that. I'm going to put the output out like that. But Greg, you're saying that's all on the same lane. My answer to you is no, it's not really. I'm going to make this a blueprint, so that goes all the way out there. So the question is, how many lanes of green circuits do I want to allocate on my bus? And the answer to that is I am going to use 4 lanes eventually for my green circuits. I don't know why I just did that. I need to just put 1 out there. I anticipate that this particular green circuit array is going to grow off to the right far enough for that to be important. And we need to mirror it down below. I'm going to grab this, rotate it into place. This belt is wrong, but that's okay. And that's just like that. I don't actually have to extend the entire bus. What I should be doing is just extending the lines that I need. So for instance, I would bring down iron to here and here, and then I would bring down copper to here. Well, let's see. I seriously need to get this automated fairly soon. That'll bring copper in this side. We still need to bring our iron in. Oh, I almost forgot. Reverse these. But the arrows are going to the right. There we go. And these guys still need power. If I put it there, it's not going to work. I can put it there and there. Do the same thing down here. And we are out of power poles. And we are out of assembling machines, so we'll need to automate assembling machines too. And we're out of inserters. Amazing how that happens. Once we get things automated, I will probably leave the game running for a bit. As you notice, I didn't do anything special here. So that really needs to be broken there. So we get green circuits on both sides. And we need to merge it in with the middle. There will be mergers and such in there. But for now, we'll just do that. Worse yet, we need to merge it back onto there. There's going to be some complex weaving. How did I do that? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to simplify this for this build. We are only going to use 2 lines of output. We're going to give ourselves an extra little bit of breathing room. Like that. Later when we go to 4, I will have to figure out how to bring this guy in and merge it in so that we get, he's all merging in line in the appropriate space. Oh, yikes. I have forgotten how to do that, and I will have to either look at previous plans or rederive it. The other thing I'm going to do here is I don't know if we're going to be drawing evenly across those, so we will put another splitter there. We're also going to say output priority right. Output priority is left with a filter. I need a filter that will never match anything. There we go. So these are, how you read this is these guys prioritize sending the deconstructor paper. That's actually a deconstructor. They're prioritizing, if they find one of those, it's going to go to the left, everything else goes to the right. Colloquially, that's my way of saying that output is not used. Now, this might actually be a good thing that we're all using 2 lanes of green. Maybe we minimize the scope of this so we have 2 lanes of green, 1 of red, and a half lane of blue or something eventually. See how it works out. I don't know how, especially the space age stuff, I don't know how that changes the game. And I am going to make a blueprint of this whole thing. Just kind of toss that out there so we know that we've got expansion. We're not going to expand until we need it. The other thing we can do here is I can put some green chips in a box. And I'm going to do that 2 boxes. So the way I do that is I split it here and here. And I'm going to put my boxes right next to there. Do like that. Now we will need power there and there. I want my primary power to be on the left, so we'll go to the right as necessary, but it's on the left so that it hooks up on the left. There. Make it clear what's going on. So there's our green chips on the bus. Yay! I want to leave a little bit of breathing room before we do anything else here. Hey, I just happened to end this right on the cell. Do I want to line on? I don't want to align on cells. That's getting too serious. Okay, whenever I see an empty belt, I can go up and I can say, what happened here? There we go. So we have copper, brick, stone, iron, and green chips. And what is it I want to make? Transport belts require iron. That requires iron. It requires iron and green circuits. Iron, oh, that's going to require gear wheels. Gear wheels are kind of a special case. At least they used to be. I will check and make sure they are. But I believe it's always best to make gear wheels on site rather than belting them. Gear wheels and yellow inserters, and so these guys, there needs to be yellow inserters in the middle leading to these guys on the right and left. Or let's make it 4 lanes. Let's do the belts first. Are the belts like that? The underground belts require transport belts, and the splitters also require. So we're going to do 4 of these guys. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start here. I'm going to space them out. I'm going to give that 3 space. We're going to just do every other one like that. I'm going to start up top with the one that requires green circuits. Okay? He'll be taking an iron plate, electronic circuits, and the yellow inserter. He's going to be making yellow inserters. He's also going to be making yellow inserters, and he's going to be making red. So iron needs to be striped across all of these, and the green needs to come down the edge. So there's the green. Iron, 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 iron. Let's put these middle. That needs to go like that, and that needs to go like that. And we are going to need to automate wooden chests as well. Now, I could use a long-handled inserter to move from there to there, but what I want to do is have a chest here. We have a small supply of inserters reserved for this. I'm going to put 2 stacks in there. Just like that. Now with 2 of these guys, whoops, I middle clicked on it, which made it go away. Oh, did it again. I was going to do belts first, wasn't I? Easy enough. Oh, I need to go pick up some more iron. Since I am hand making things as long as this grid is going. Another thing that a experienced Factorio player looking at me play right now would say is I am not very good at keeping handcrafting going all the time. And all I can say in defense of that is that my favorite game mode is a lazy bastard run. So I don't always think about what I could be handcrafting. I always think about if I need to handcraft, I do it. So we need those. Let's see. I'm going to queue up a whole bunch of things since I was just talking about not doing it often enough. There. So when you copy the blueprint, it copies the restrictions. These are all restricted in size. Now we have the equivalent here for belts. The splitter requires green circuits, so we're going to do the splitter there. And belt, and underground. And all these guys are flashing. But the other thing that I need to do is all these guys need to have an output. They also need to get iron coming in. I'm going to bring iron in dead center. That. Go. Iron is on that lane. We're going to bring in a belt of iron. No. Oh, right. See, that's satisfactory thinking. I thought I could branch off left and right from it. Long term, we're going to have more than one belt. Let's bring in iron on this one and bring in the green circuits there. Oh, no, wait a minute. I can do this easier. There's my iron. And just striping it across like that, automatically putting the undergrounders. And I'm going to that. I'm only going to do the first two. Bottom. This. Oh, gear wheels. I forgot to run the gear wheels out. Thought I was forgetting something. Right. Okay, so you need gears. You need gears. You need gears. You need gears. You do not. You do not. So these four need gears, and this one needs gears. Something similar, I am going to copy this and put it out here a ways. We want to alter this so that we start making gears. What do gears require? Every half second we need 2 iron inputs, which means I need 2 of those guys. And it requires Oh, at 2 iron per second. That's confusing. There's the recipe. 0.5 second crafting time, 2 iron plate makes a gear. Crafting speed is 0.5. So we are right. Right. Machines with a speed of 0.5 craft at half the speed of your hand. Which means every second I'm getting 2 plates and putting out 1 gear. That's fine. So we want things like that. And it's my experience that you can never have too many of those. So take that, I'm going to snap it down like that. I'm going to turn it around, snap it down like that. And I'm going to do more of those. And I'm going to bring iron up from the bottom. That way, when we start having more than one belt of iron on the main bus, we can have one belt coming in the top and one belt coming in the bottom. This particular kind of mall where we're doing all of these things, very, very iron hungry. Darn it, I keep putting it just off of where I mean it to, which of course means it's not inheriting all of the stuff. And what I didn't put in here were the undergrounds. We're going to be doing something like that. Just like I am anticipating that we will need a great deal of stuff. Now, this also means that we're going to have a long ramp-up time once we get things flowing, because this will all have to come to a steady state. And a lot of the earlier machines are going to be filling up a bunch of buffers. But I'm planning on leaving this running. Now, this does mean that all the machines down this direction will have they will have gears available. We may change some of these to be pipes instead of gears at some point. I remember from other malls. You notice I haven't put any power in yet. And we are out of inserters again. So these guys, we're going to use Control X to pick this up back to here. We're going to stamp it down here. Oh, and this is part of the danger here. I need this to continue, but I also need this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move this over one, like that. Okay. Now, we have more tiers of belts coming, so we're going to reserve some space for those. But let's at least get these belts working. That means filling in what we've got so far, well, enough of it. Power to these guys, we're going to need... I'd like to be able to put here. I believe that covers everything. These guys do need to have... Oh. Okay. Let's rethink for a moment. He needs to be there. I'd like to have everybody be kind of patterned. If I put him here, it can only cover one of the inserters, so I do need to offset it to the side somewhere. If I use a blue inserter there... Yeah, let's use blue inserters for the... So this way we can move all of our inserters up. And now these guys can go like this. So one thing I haven't arranged for here is for an output from here. Oh. For now, we'll just leave those at 2 each. Okay, get the power in. You can see what we're dealing with. I want to do this power the same way. I don't know what's going to go out here yet. Well, I think I'm... If I leave the inserters off of some of these, we won't be getting all of them saturated before we get started. That's probably a good idea. Well, let's get the iron hooked up here. If I've done that right, we should start getting all of our belts out. And we're going to reserve this spot for the yellow belts, and we need to reserve a spot for the blue belts as well. I do not know what the recipes are for those yet. Well, I have a notion of what they are based on them not changing. I think my stopping point for this recording is going to be when we start getting our primary stuff, our immediate needs into the mall. So I want you to start about there. I am planning on there being a second tier of stuff related to inserters. So I will reserve a spot. Okay. So what did I forget here? I forgot that these guys need screws. Otherwise, I would already have a bunch of transport belts coming out. You guys set up. These guys all need plate, right? He needs plate. He needs plate. So, plate, inserters, and green stuff. So he doesn't need the gears, but he does. And he does. Oh, he also. Oh, these guys also need green chips. I forgot about that. This doesn't. So, this needs to be brought in. Forgot about that. And this isn't making any progress because he doesn't have any green because I haven't run it yet. Let's get that in her. So I need to have a standard way to pick off that guy and then rebalance. I want to keep the left lane full. When I do that is I set my output priority to the right. That guy requires iron and green chips. It means also he needs to go under this guy's output lane here. Let's put the outputs in before we stripe this down. And these really need to be moved one to the left, as we saw before. Okay, Control Z undid the whatever I had done. Can't actually place anything, but can place blueprints. So you place something, you undo it, it'll mark it with an X. Place a blueprint, it'll get rid of it. Delete a blueprint, it will reinstantiate it. These need to be moved to here. That. And this power line, it's brought across. I am trying to mirror what we did earlier. I may have to correct it. And all of the outputs look the same. They're here, 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 and here. And you need to come down to here. So the output here, we have no way of inputting this. Oh, versus filled again. So the fact that I brought my iron in right next to these guys meant I couldn't put my power poles on the corners out there. That was a mistake. That guy's waiting on a yellow. This guy's waiting on a screw. That. Whoops. What was different here? Boom, boom. That. What have we got? We don't have our iron. Okay. So these guys need blue inserters, loading them up. Going to move the stuff that I haven't laid down yet. So I swipe it for deletion and then I undelete, which doesn't recover the blueprints, but it does remove the X's. And yes, I just activated the machines when I wasn't going to do that. Fine. Surprisingly, I expected us to run way over power, and we're still at 5 or 6 out of 7.2 megawatts. So we haven't overrun our power yet. Grab some of that stuff. It's unfortunate that our green chips are coming down this line. I could have brought them down the left and used the long handle inserters for whatever is lower quantity. I could use long handles for the green. I could have brought the output toward the middle somehow. I don't know. The routing of the screws is always a little catchy, the malls. So what are the other important things that I need? Well, with all of those automated, I could really, I would automate the assembling machines and the electric poles, but I can actually just do those by hand for a while. So we have belts, reserve spots for advanced belts. We have inserters, reserve spots for more inserter-like things. I can get rid of this. And that's a pretty good start to a mall. Let's look at our recipes here. Think about what we would want to make. Chests and electric poles are candidates. Iron chests are a candidate. Kind of one-off things. We could tuck them away. And getting pipes made and pipe to ground made, good idea. Not so keen on automating lamps. I think I'm just going to make those by hand as I need them. We will want to automate electric mining drills and assembling machines, and these requires green chips and gears, and this requires green chips and gears. So this is looking real familiar here. Now we could do lamps, although lamps require copper cable, and that's I don't think I usually do copper cable stuff in a mall, but new set of recipes. You know, if I can avoid it, I will. Don't need to automate building labs because we aren't going to be setting up thousands of them. We're going to be setting up tens at the most. Let's walk back along our production line and see what we might have missed. Okay, we've got a main bus that's coming together. We've got a mall that we've organized. We've got some reserved space for things we know are coming. We have, I think, enough capacity in terms of gears. Although, like I said, I'm going to want to put pipes on here eventually. There were things I automate that require pipes. If I was going to automate those, I'd need it. Guess we don't really yet. So the only reason we would need pipe to ground is when we're going to use it. So pipe to ground we wouldn't have on the bus. Pipes, we use them, some of them for pipe to ground and some of them we just use. So we could just do a one-off automation of that. Let's do some one-off automations of the critical components that aren't going to be aren't really mall worthy. The other thing I'm noticing is that we have a whole lot of iron coming out, do we? We need more iron. I think we can get more iron just by putting down more miners. We're also going to want to open up more smelting lines. Let's get more miners down. How are we doing for miners? Electric mining drills. We're building 3 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11. We need so let's grab some electronic circuits. And I had the foresight to put electronic circuits in boxes. I think I am going to put a merger on like that. Let's put it here. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of green circuits that we can use now. I just reach in here and grab these as I need them. So let's see. We need iron. Iron to make iron. Fortunately, like there, we were tucking it into a box. There we go. So we're going to boost our iron production. We're going to go automate the building of pipes and undergrounds and electric poles. I think that's all we really need. I may need to boost my copper at some point. We'll see about that, although looks like we're keeping up. Get the lights put in so when it gets dark we can see. That should almost double our copper production. We're not going to fill the belt. We would need more miners than we've got there to fill the belt, but if we are still running short, I can start the second smelter go. And in fact, because this is a short-term temporary thing, I think I'm going to put it here. We're going to put this guy is going to be making undergrounds. Oh, wait a minute. Let's do it. The first guy is going to be making just normal pipes. These two are going to be feeding into here, and he's going to be making undergrounds. This is not a balanced build. I think I can get by with 2 stacks of this stuff. And I'm going to demote these to yellow just to limit our rates. Now, nominally, this is every second we do 1 plate into 1 pipe. And this guy requires 5 plates and 10 pipes, which makes 2 undergrounds. This could actually run very, very, very quickly if you could feed it pipes fast enough. We're not going to. The goal here isn't to provide full production. The goal here is to provide some. Okay, so that's that. This will require wood and copper cable. Again, I'm going to come down here and just going to do it right in line. This guy does the copper cable. This guy is going to do the, here. And I'm going to again use these. That. You need wood. You need to be limited to how much we want to make. There we go. So this will make sure that we have a modest supply of pipes and of power poles before we put anything on the bus. This also means that we're taking a great deal of iron off the line here. I probably should have just put 2 machines down. In fact, I'm gonna modify this. Yeah, he's using way too many resources. We'll just do this. So half of this guy, half of its pipes he makes is going to go in here. The other half going to go over here. And he is going to dump there. So nice, slow, steady supply without breaking the bank. And there we go. Now, I was aiming at about an hour on this episode. We're at an hour and a quarter. So, yeah, typical Factorio time. I should have stopped when I got the mall set up 15 minutes ago. But let's go down here, and what I'm going to do is I am going to do some knitting, gardening cleanup before the next episode. We'll get this all. There isn't a whole lot to do. I think it's just these guys. So the next thing I really want to record is adding more things to the mall. So maybe offline I could build out the rest of the smelter arrays. Yeah, I'll build out the rest of the smelter arrays before the next recording. Okay, so I will see you then.